So now let's switch to the front end. I'm getting bored right here. We want to see some action, okay? So we're going to go to the front end. And first of all, we're going to install the React router DOM, which is going to help us define routes. So simply like you have a page that it's called, for example, login. It's a login page. You have your HTML and JavaScript there. You want to link this page to a certain route. So for example, when you go to /login, we're gonna link this page. We want to go, for example, register, it's gonna be the register page, /profile, it's gonna be the profile page. So this is exactly what the React router done for. It's very simple and straightforward. So simply we're gonna open the terminal and we're gonna go to the front end, and then we're gonna install npmi and then React router DOM, which is gonna be what we need. And then we're gonna go to the source, and then we're gonna go to the index.js, and right here, let me close this, and we're gonna import the browser router from the React router DOM. So import browser router, and it's gonna be from React, okay, React router DOM, okay. But the thing right here, this browser router, you can use it in a different way. So any imports that you have, you can change the name of it. So for example, you can add as, and then any name you want right here, and then this browser router is gonna be called by this name. So for example, I'm gonna call it the router, just like, you know, a more unified and more, you know, understandable name. Like if you work with networks, you know that the router is the main one and is defined the routes for others. So that's why I choose to use router. You can use it like the browser router, it doesn't matter, there is no problem right here, okay. So I'm going to take that router and we're going to remove this React.Tricks mode and we're going to change it by the router, okay. So we're going to link or cover or surround all our application, which is this. The application is going to be surrounded by the router, okay. And we're going to go inside our application right here, and inside this we're going to remove this, and here we're going to define our route. So and import some things that we're going to need. So import, and then we're going to import the routes and then the single route. And it's going to be all from React router, okay. And inside our application right here, if we went back right here, so here we're going to return something, okay. For example, let's return a div, okay. This is our return, and inside this div we're going to have our routes. So right here we're going to define our routes, okay. And inside this routes we define a single route. So we can go a route like this, and then we're going to define the properties right here. So the properties, and simply the first is going to be the path, which is going to be the path or the link you want to, you know, connect it with. So for example, it's going to be / or / like login, okay. For example, let's have this route right here, and then we have another property which is going to be the elements, and the elements right here is going to be the elements that you want to link it with. So for example, let's go to source, and we're going to create another folder. Let's call it pages, and this pages we're going to create another page. For example, let's call it login, okay. This is going to be the login page, okay. And we're going to create an index.js right here inside the login. Also we're going to have the styles for the login page, okay. So let's call it style.css, okay. You can go to understand more, you can create another page. Let's call it, for example, profile, okay. So this is another page, and this is inside this you create the index.js, okay, and then you create the style. This is the way that we're going to define our pages or our components anyway. So this is going to be the file. So for the login, so you can click, you can write RFC this way, and then it's going to create the component. You can remove the React like this, and then name the index to login, okay. So now when you want to import this, you simply import it from pages login, okay, and it's gonna import, because this is the index, so it's gonna check the name and it's gonna import this, okay. Same goes for the profile or any other page you want. So let's remove this, and right here let's call this profile, and it goes both ways for other stuff, okay. So this is the way we do it. So now we can go back to the app, and right here we're going to define which one we're going to call. So for example, we're going to call the login, okay, and as you see, this is the import from pages login, okay. And you're going to close this right here, and now what we have is a simple route. When we go to login, we're going to get to the login exactly, and we can add this exact property to define that it's exactly /login and nothing, you know, with any attributes else, okay. So now let's open the console and let's go npm start to see everything in the browser, okay. Let's define another route. So first of all, let me close everything to the right and go back to the login page right here, and we're gonna call this login, so we know where we're at. And then we're gonna go to the profile, and right here we're gonna call it profile. Okay, like this. And now let's go back to app and create another route, and this time it's gonna be /profile, and then right here is gonna be the profile. Okay, and let's import it this way, as you see right here. Okay, so you can actually, like, just in the pages you can have just a file that is called login.js, and it's gonna work fine. But I prefer like to have every page with the size connected to it in the same folder. You can have another folder that is called size right here in the source, and you like this is the size, and you can have all the styles right here. Okay, so you can take any approach, like there's no right or wrong right here, just your preferable choice. Okay, in the pages we're gonna have the home page, so let's create it. Okay, so let's create the home page, and it's gonna be lowercase. The components we have them uppercase. Okay, so right here we're gonna have the index.js, and right here RFC, and then let's remove this. Okay, and let's call this home, and also let's call the return home. Okay, and then we're gonna have a style for it. So I don't know if I change my mind then later, so maybe I'm just gonna have a folder that have all the styles, or maybe I'm gonna leave it this way. I don't know, I'm gonna check later. Okay, so now let's go to the browser, and you see this is the local host. If we refresh, we can go back right here, and we're gonna link the home, or the main route. We're gonna link it to the home page. Okay, so this is gonna be home. Okay, let me check if it's the right name. Okay, it's home. So where it's not imported, if it's not imported, we can import it like this. Okay, so we're gonna go from home, and right here is gonna be home. Okay, and as you see, it's gonna work fine. So let's go back right here. As you see right here, so this is the home route, so this is the main route, and we get home. If we went to login, we're gonna get the login. So if we went to login, we're gonna get the login. Okay, so if we went, for example, now to the profile, and we're gonna get the profile. So this is simply how the React router works. It has more to it, and it's a lot of properties, a lot of ways to work with it, and we're gonna go slow, and steady to understand everything, closely and in a good way. Okay, so let's see what we have next.